All right, my people. The next step, as I alluded to last time, was we are going to check results and get reports. One thing that's pretty cool about Formative is that you can get live results, which means you can go in and check how students are doing while they are working on the assessment. So, like, if you see a kid make a egregious error, you can always intervene and guide them back in another direction. Maybe save them a little bit of hassle on retaking a test or something like that. So in order to do this, you'll just go back into a assessment that you've done before that has responses, and you can look at what responses are for those students. So let's go into the one that I just did, the test assessment, and we're going to click live results, and this will show us how that student did on that assessment. So the first thing we'll just talk about is how you want to navigate this. We're in the live results area here. You can either view the single question or the summary, which gives you every question. Just so you know, if you have programmed in a correct answer and the student hits that answer, they will get a green. If you have programmed in a correct answer and they miss it, they will get a red. And then gray means that you could not do a correct answer, so therefore you'll have to grade it manually. And you can just click on these question numbers and get see how the student did. For those that grade themselves, obviously you don't have to go back in here and do anything. But for example, this question, which is gray, I need to come in here and grade it. So I'm going to look at this. I'm going to say, okay, clearly this kid did not understand the concept, and he is going to get this wrong. So I'm going to click over here to give him 0. Now you do have a scale. You can give 1 through 10, and you can change the weight of the questions whenever you are creating the assessment, but the default is 10. So if it's a right or wrong answer, you go 0 through 10. I'm going to give this kid a 0. And now this one's red, and I can do that for all these. Let's say I'm going to give him credit for his assessment of T Swift's dance moves, and then I'm going to give him a wrong on his assessment of the items on that list. So now this student got 20 points out of a possible, 60 points. Yes, not so good on the math there. So that's how that goes, just getting the quick and dirty look at the grades. You can also go back through each single question and see how each student did. Now, since I only have one student who has completed this, I'll just see this one. But if you have an assessment with multiple students, and let me show that to you. So I just opened up an old assessment that I did, and whenever you have multiple students who complete an assessment, you'll have it'll look more like this, where you have all of the students together and you'll see all their work together, and that's kind of cool. You can just pull it up and you can see the grade that they were given based on their performance on that task. So it's kind of nice to see all your students' questions and answers together like this. I kind of appreciate that. All right, let's get back to our friend Dingle. So this is a basic setup of what you'll see. As we go through these, you'll get the more of an idea of why this is kind of cool. Now here is the one where you draw on the canvas. So let me open this one up. So I can zoom this in and take a look at what he did. Now, one thing that's cool about Formative is that while a student is working, you can actually see updates. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to just start making a few little edits here. And those changes will pop up on my view too. So you see it's real time. While this student is working, I'm seeing the updates of things that he's completing. And that's what, whenever it says live, that's what we mean. You get the absolute up to date, and you can change the setting, but students can go back in and try the questions and stuff, so it will update live as they work through it. So what you can do here for these questions, you can actually come in, click on this, and this little airplane here allows you to send them feedback. So I'll say, great job, you nailed it. Whoops, I don't know where that went. Try that again. You nailed it. So we went in there and fixed it. I give him a 10. I send that feedback back to him, and that's going to pop up right here for him. He's going to be able to see that feedback, that little thing there. So hey, on that question, my teacher just said, "Great job, I nailed it." So awesome. That makes me feel really good about myself. So you can go back through these, and one at a time, you can just leave them feedback. You can grade them, and you will then have data that you can start analyzing to know, especially if you use this as like a formative assessment, you'll have a pretty good understanding of how your students are doing on that task. So the last thing we'll show you about how to mess with the data is after you have gone through and you've graded everything, you can then export as a spreadsheet. So I want to get this data and I want to upload it, or I want to share it, or I want to mess around with it. If you click export, it will give you the option to download a CSV file, and it'll pop up right here, especially if you're in Chrome. It works like that. And of course, it might take a minute because, you know, CSV files can be kind of like bombs that explode on your computer. But here it is. So I'll pull this over here, and this is my student data, and I can come in and sort this and do all kinds of fun and cool things with it. So that'll help you if you're tracking data, you're doing data cycles, or if you want to display your data, you can get the numbers all together in a neat editable format right here. Okay, so that's all the cool stuff you can do with data. Of course, you'll get as much out of it as you put into it, so make sure that you are using this tool, especially if for you data fools out there who like to look at data and collect it and know how your students are doing. It's a great tool. If you have any other questions about using this, just let me know. I'm happy to help you. If not, good luck. I will see you later.